Hi there YouTubers, welcome to another woodcraft project. I was approached back in October 2020 by a senior officer on HMNZS Aotearoa, New Zealand's newest Navy ship, which is a resupply vessel, to make a games board for their senior officers' mess. This game is called Uckers, and it is a traditional board game originating from the Royal Navy, and looks quite similar to the game of Ludo, however with somewhat different rules which can vary depending on which branch of the military is playing it. It is extremely competitive, and losers or cheaters' names are usually inscribed on the back of the board to forever live in infamy among their peers. I was asked to try and make it from wood, but also make it magnetic, so stick around and see how I tackled this challenge. This build really tested my skills and ingenuity, but it was very fun and gratifying to be able to present this board game to the officers on board Aotearoa and have a tour of the ship itself. I decided that to be able to make the board able to have magnetic pieces stick to it, it would need a base of plywood, followed by a sheet of steel, and then a top skin of the thinnest plywood I could find, which was about 2.5 mils thick, to laser the design onto. The design has the insignia of the ship, and the ship's crest in the top two quadrants, and the New Zealand Navy crest and the crest of the home port of Aotearoa, which is New Plymouth, in the lower two quadrants. The main playing grid is in the middle, and the board measurements are 600 by 600 millimeters. This took me the longest time on the computer, converting each crest from a full color JPEG into a laser image that could be burned into wood but not lose clarity. I also had the challenge where my desktop laser is only 400 by 430 millimeters, so I couldn't do the whole board at once, but I had to continually rotate the board and carefully line it up to laser each quarter of the grid pattern, then the 4 designs in each corner. I spent a good amount of time carefully masking off each area to be coloured. I used a modelling enamel which I thinned down a little with isopropyl alcohol and applied it in about 4 thin coats about 5 minutes apart. I was pretty happy with how the colour looked at the end. Next I applied some 2K automotive clear enamel to seal and protect the board, about 8 coats in total. I wanted to use something that would have a high wear tolerance since it will probably have quite a few games played on it. Now I'm making the playing pieces from 50 caliber brass cases. My client gave me some linked brass from a navy gun and I had to separate the brass from the links first. I'll need 16 of these. I put each brass case into the lathe to clean them up with fine 400 then 600 grit sandpaper, and then finish them off with some polish on a paper towel. I decided that 12mm high pieces would work well, so using the parting tool I cut the ends off. Next I'll trim and tidy the cut ends to get rid of the burrs, then repeat the sandpaper and polish process on the insides as well. Using a punch I fashioned from a broken Allen key, I knocked out the spent primers, then drilled out the primer pockets with an 8mm drill bit to accept the neodymium magnets I purchased on AliExpress. I found that 2 magnets doubled up increased their magnetic strength, and there was just enough brass depth to accommodate these. I used a bit of sandpaper to rough up the surface of the magnets so that the CA glue would have something to bond to. The Allen key punch came in handy again as an applicator tool so I didn't get glue all over my fingers. After the glue had hardened, I chipped off the excess for a smooth, flush finish. Time to apply the colour to the playing pieces. I'm using the same enamel as I used on the board as it sticks to clean brass quite well after a quick clean with acetone. I did about 3 thin coats to achieve the depth of colour that I wanted. Well, that's all we have time for on this episode. Please click the subscribe button and bell icon so you can be notified when I publish part 2 of this build. In the meantime, please check out my other videos. See you next time.